In the year 2090, a world awash in the relentless tide of instant gratification, where every thought, every trend, every fleeting moment was meticulously catalogued and amplified, a quiet rebellion was brewing. Not with weapons or manifestos, but with dust, forgotten data, and the profound silence of history. This is the story of Dr. Aris Thorne, a man out of time, a historian whose reverence for the past bordered on the spiritual. At 45, his neat, almost anachronistic appearance belied a soul deeply troubled by humanity's accelerating amnesia. He lived in a sprawling, underfunded National Archive, a digital mausoleum where the echoes of forgotten wisdom resided in the digital dark zones, vast overlooked repositories of knowledge deemed irrelevant by the omnipresent Immediate Impact Collective. Thorne's latest task was to curate an archive of forgotten knowledge. Not just any knowledge, but the kind that once shaped civilizations, yet now lay buried under a deluge of viral memes and real-time crisis alerts. These were the important but not urgent pursuits, the slow burns, the deep dives, the intellectual incubations that society, in its frantic pursuit of the immediate, had utterly abandoned. As Thorne delved deeper, a startling pattern emerged. Every monumental human achievement, every giant of progress, from the foundational principles of democracy to the intricate mathematics that launched humanity into space, originated not from reactive crisis management, but from these patient, long-term cultivations. He saw the Eisenhower matrix not as a mere productivity tool, but as a forgotten blueprint for societal evolution. The urgent, he realized, often overshadowed the truly important, leading to a profound systemic short-sightedness. His discoveries, however, were a direct affront to the Immediate Impact Collective. This global consortium of AI-driven media and data corporations, personified by its relentless newsfeed, prioritized viral, short-term content above all else. Anything slow or irrelevant to current trends was actively suppressed, buried beneath an avalanche of ephemeral noise. The collective had no physical form, yet its algorithmic tendrils exerted immense societal control, shaping perceptions, dictating relevance. Undeterred, Thorne began to seek out the unseen architects. These were the elderly scholars, artists, and innovators who, despite societal indifference, had pursued their passions, often labeled eccentric or irrelevant. He interviewed a centenarian astrophysicist who had spent decades mapping dark matter long before its existence was widely accepted. He spoke with a philosopher who had dedicated his life to the ethics of AI, a field only now, in 2090, becoming critically urgent. Their stories were testaments to the power of important but not urgent work. As Thorne's archive grew, so did the collective's algorithmic resistance. His findings were deprioritized, his digital footprint minimized. But he pressed on, uncovering a historical conspiracy. Past civilizations, realizing the profound power of long-term thinking, had deliberately protected and nurtured such endeavors. They had created sanctuaries for thinkers, places where ideas could gestate free from immediate pressures, sanctuaries now lost, forgotten, or perhaps deliberately erased. The pressure mounted. His own institution, beholden to the collective's metrics, demanded measurable impact, audience engagement. Thorne was forced to compromise, to package his profound insights into digestible, shareable snippets, a betrayal of the very wisdom he sought to preserve. Then the inevitable. A global crisis erupted, a complex geopolitical conflict exacerbated by a profound lack of historical understanding and long-term strategic thinking. The world, addicted to immediate reactions, found itself teetering on the brink, a stark demonstration of societal short-sightedness. Determined, building to a climax, Thorne knew he had to act. He organized a desperate, unsanctioned global broadcast, a last-ditch effort to bypass the collective's filters. He stood before a makeshift camera, his face etched with urgency, and began to speak. He argued that the solution to the current crisis lay not in immediate reactions, but in rediscovering the forgotten wisdom of important but not urgent thought. He drew parallels to historical giants, Copernicus, Darwin, Curie, whose groundbreaking work was initially dismissed, deemed irrelevant, only to fundamentally reshape humanity's understanding of itself and the universe. The collective retaliated instantly. His broadcast was fragmented, censored, his image distorted, his words drowned out by a cacophony of trending news alerts. They attempted to discredit him, labeling him a historical revisionist, a purveyor of slow-thought propaganda. Yet, something shifted. Thorne's fragmented message, though heavily censored, managed to spark a global conversation. Seeds of doubt were planted about the urgent-only paradigm. Small, independent thought sanctuaries began to emerge, quiet havens for long-term thinkers. Some of the unseen architects found renewed purpose. Their voices, once whispers, now amplified by a nascent collective curiosity. The immediate impact collective remained dominant, its algorithms still shaping the global narrative. But, for the first time, it faced a significant challenge to its absolute control. Dr. Aris Thorne, knowing he had started a long uphill battle, found a quiet satisfaction in reigniting the flame of long-term wisdom. The question lingered, echoing in the digital dark zones and the nascent thought sanctuaries. Would humanity finally learn to prioritize the profound over the immediate, or would it continue to chase the fleeting shadows of instant gratification? The answer, like all truly important things, would only reveal itself with time.